Hello gamers, welcome back to another episode of Solo Spelunking. And I'm back in the bat cave with my bat mug, drinking bat coffee, because I'm ready to return to the bat of Fallcrest. Season 2, The Cult of Owls. And I even got my notes in order. So just a short recap for those just joining in. If you want to get the full details, watch the previous episodes. So there's a sinister cult, the Cult of Owls, and they plan to conduct a forbidden ritual, the Ritual of Two Faces. And their plan is probably to replace young Harvey Dent, the next in line as ruler of Fallcrest. And this is the medieval city set in the Nanty Vale where this takes place, with a doppelganger from the cult created in the Ritual of Two Faces. To conduct this ritual, they need three components for the ritual. They need the Book of Lies, a cursed crystal of Vecna, and doppelganger blood. They try to obtain doppelganger blood by breaking into the warehouse of renowned alchemist Lucian Fox, who happens to have a dose of doppelganger blood in his warehouse. However, the bat spoiled those efforts together with Lady Diana Princeton, Paladin of Themyscira, and she was also the one who filled the bat in about the cult. And last episode we suffered a little setback as we suffered a defeat at the hands of Owlmaster Telrem, who defeated us after we were already weakened in a battle against a Viperian mage, and they obtained the cursed crystal of Vecna. And we ended this episode saved by the bell in a cutscene with the city guards appearing. Owlmaster Telrem, that is him, that is Owlmaster Telrem, and the Owlmasters are powerful druids that have control of an owlbear companion. So he leaped onto the back of this owlbear and escaped. The bat was able to get his shit together and escape before the guards could catch up with him and reveal his identity. Since Lady Diana is an official paladin of Themyscira and doesn't have a secret identity, it didn't matter. And so they got separated. And now we are picking up with the bat making his way back to his tenant building under great effort because he is really in bad shape. So this is the city map of Fallcrest, which is filled in by points of interest as we continue to play. So here in this abandoned cemetery was where the battle happened, where the Viperian was due to exchange the crystal to the Owlmaster. We interrupted the meeting. Here is a cult hideout in the basement of a spice den in the slum district here. This is Lucian's warehouse. This is my smithy where Brian Wayne, which is the bat by day, master blacksmith, works. The tenant building where he lives, the mansion of Lucian Fox, and this is the old cemetery where Selena Kylie is buried. She sadly died in the last series of this campaign. Okay, so I have made my way back with great effort back to my tenant building. I barely managed to climb into back through the window and peel myself out of my bat suit, which I hastily hide away, and then I just tend to my wounds. I inspect my wounds to see that there's nothing really serious. I see if there's anything that needs stitches, and if it does, I stitch myself. I've done this a couple of times in the past, but let's just say this is not the case. So I just fall dead into my bed and catch some much needed sleep and rest. Okay, so next day, the morning. So thankfully, by the rules I'm using, and it is a 2D6 streamlined system that you can find in the video description. You can download it from my Google Drive. It states that a full night of rest restores all stamina. So I am, of course, still somewhat weakened, but for game purposes, I am fully healed. My stamina and my armor points have reset, so I'm at 12 stamina. And what I do is I make my way, so I sleep as much as I need to, because it really was a rough night. I was also poisoned by this Viperian mage and everything. So I get up when I get up, and I do feel better and rested. So in my daily outfit, in my normal commoner's street clothes, so I'm also not wearing my smithy outfit now with leather apron, because today I want to leave my shop closed and do some things. So I write a note in my tenant building to Lady Diana and ask her if we could meet tonight again at 2300 hours at the northern bridge where we met the night before. So now I have to get this note to her somehow, because like I said, we got separated. So, but close to my tenant building is the temple district, and I figured that there might be some church or cathedral of the goddess of Themyscira someplace, which might be a good point or place to start. But first, I head over to my smithy, and there's like the sign, this open closed sign, but wooden with engraved or burned in writing. So I just turn it to the side that says, sorry, this smithy remains closed today, and so I do not open my smithy. And once I got that done, I make my way into the temple district to see if I can find a church of Themyscira. And this is actually not that, it's not very common, this worship of Themyscira, because she's an ancient warrior goddess that is not widely worshipped in the Nantir Vale. So the question is there a temple of Themyscira? And I'll give it a 70% chance, because actually I want there to be one, but it might be that there is none, and then I got to think of something else. So 70% there is a temple. 30, yes, all right, and no doubles. So indeed, it takes me a while, and but after some asking around, I got pointed into the right direction, and there is indeed only one temple, which is here, close to the river. Temple of Themyscira. Okay, so I make my way over there, head into the temple, or like the church or cathedral, and yeah, so it is open to the public for worship, and I do make a donation when I get in. There's like this little bowl where you can put gold coins in. So in this series, I'm not tracking money, because I'm figured Brian Wayne is a master blacksmith, so he's an excellent craftsman, and he has enough money to cover his everyday expenses and lead a somewhat decent lifestyle. So I'm not tracking funds, and the bed stuff he needs, he usually crafts himself, like the batarangs and the armor and stuff, as a master blacksmith. And since this is not an economic simulation but a fantasy role-playing game, I'm not going into those details, because of course the raw materials, they cost money as well and stuff, but never mind. So I pay my dues. I leave some gold coins there in the bowl, and then I sit down at a bunk and pretend actually to be praying, because I'm not a very religious guy. And I used this opportunity to look around. I want to stay a while, look around to see if I can see some holy or some temple personnel, and maybe if I can even see Diana. So it is a 50-50 that Diana is there, 50%. 94, which is almost an exceptional no, but it's not. But it's a resounding no. So sadly, I do not spot Diana, but of course, another temple official. So I walk up to this temple official. Let's see. Do I have a fitting pawn here that I can use real quick? Yeah, let's just take this one here, and let's just, okay. So there is a priestess going about her business, and let's see, what could I take for as a Brian, because I don't want to, my bed outfit wouldn't really fit. Just 1 second here. What could be a fitting PC? Let's see if I can find one real quick here. That might. Let's just take this one right here. So without the dagger, just normal clothes. So this is me by day. I walk up to this priestess, and thankfully I don't need my bed voice now, because I'm in my daily real identity. And I go like, greetings, what are they called? Not greetings, Your Highness, let's just call him, or Your Honor, or Your Highness. Let's just say Your Highness sounds better. No, Highness is actually, let's just say, greetings, Lady Priestess. And she goes, well, greetings. Timaskira may guide your path. What brings you to our establishment? What can I do for you? You know, I just heard about your church recently. While I was wondering about, there was a member of your church, I believe a paladin, a beautiful woman, and I describe her, I describe Diana, and she was preaching, and she really inspired me. She inspired me enough to come and check out your church and your temple. I've never been here before, I gotta be honest, but the speech, it was really inspiring, and I was hoping that I could meet this woman here, but I haven't seen her. Do you know of this woman? And I describe her again. So she wears red, blue plate armor, and has a shield and a sword. And she stated that she is a paladin of Timaskira. Well, do you know by any chance the name of this person, if she inspired you, as you say. Yes, I think her name was Lady Diana Princeton. Lady Diana Princeton. So let's see if he or she, sorry, it's a she, heard of her, because I figured, because I got such a high no, 94%, not an exceptional, but a high no, that maybe she is not really connected to the Church of Themyscira here. Some sort of like a rogue paladin. And yeah, and basically, well, still believing in Themyscira, but maybe she left the church because of her own missions and crusades. So, but let's say it is 50-50. So 50% he has never heard of her. 50% never heard of her. 98, an exceptional no. So 50% never heard of her would have been he has never heard of her. So this is actually an exceptional yes. So yes, of course he has heard of her. So she is some person of importance in the church. Oh, why didn't you say so before? Yes, Lady Diana Princeton, one of our most renowned and respected paladins. Yeah, you're right. She is here in town, and yeah, she is here. She was here a day ago, maybe, to have her, or had her weapons once again blessed, her sword and her shield. She told me she's on some kind of secret mission to oppose a sinister evil that is lurking here, but she didn't tell me more about it. But rest assured, if Lady Diana Princeton is taking matters into her hands, you can be safe. Oh, I bet I can. So from what I've seen of her so far and heard, I am pretty sure that that I can be safe. So, is there any way, by any chance, that I could leave her a message or a note? Well, you can give this note to me, and I'll pass it on to her if she comes in, if you don't want to wait. But tell me, who are you again? What is your name? Does she know you? No, she doesn't. My name is Robert, and I was just some commoner who was inspired by her speech. So please give her this message, this letter. But I can respect that I trust you as a person of faith. This letter is personal, if you get my meaning, for her eyes only. Of course, I do get your meaning. I will pass it on to her, Robert. And thanks again for taking the time to stop by. The Church of Themyscira always welcomes new followers. Yes, thank you. Wonderful temple you have here, wonderful temple. And then I leave, trusting that this priestess keeps her word. Okay, so that was that. Sadly, she wasn't there. Next thing on the list is that we have heard about this book of lies that is needed. So I'm heading into the High District to go to the Grand Nerethian Library. And Nereth was a powerful human empire once in the Nantir Vale. before it crumbled. Nerethian Library, but there's still... So the Grand Nerethian Library. It is the most renowned and oldest and well-stocked library in Fallcrest and in the Nantia Vale even. It is in the High District. You can't take any books out of there. It's like a library that you have to use while you are there in presence, at site or on site. And yeah, I mean, it's a small stretch, but I know what I'm looking for. So I try to see if I can research anything about this book of lies. And this will be a skill challenge, a knowledge skill challenge. Rather difficult. So it'll be a DC 10, target number 10. And I need 5 successes before I get the usual 3 failures. Okay, so 5 successes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 3 failures. And I got knowledge, which is the catch-all skill if you don't have anything else that fits. And I roll 2d6 plus 1, and I need 10. That is a failure. 7, that is 8. The first failure. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Failure again. So I've spent 2 hours already in the library and didn't know. That was to be expected. So yeah, I got some pointers and some ideas, but I've been there for hours. Let's just say like one check is like an hour and a half. So that is 3, 4.5, almost 5 hours, the better part of the day I've spent in this library. It is afternoon, and I can't find anything out. So let's see, is there anything else I can do? I left a message. I researched the library. No. So sadly, there's not much that I can do but wait, because I got a plan at night. I mean, we were defeated yesterday, so I figured maybe, because they're feeling confident, maybe they haven't quite packed up all their things, and maybe we still have a chance to do some damage, get the crystal back by checking out this. I can stake out this location by day. Yeah, this is something I could do. I seriously didn't think of this before I just started playing. So yeah, so the plan is, I'm hoping that I will meet Diana tonight at the bridge. But if I don't, I will go there anyways, in the hopes that, because maybe they feel confident because they dealt us such a devastating blow. And I mean, they do have an owl bear, and this is their turf basically. So maybe, even though the hideout is compromised, maybe they didn't pack it all up just yet. So yeah, I head over there through the slums, and let's just say, because it is daytime and I'm in my normal daily outfit, I do have a dagger and a club with me, so that I'm not completely without weapons. Dagger and a club, but no armor, and I'm heading into the slums. So let's just see, 1 or 2 on a d6 if there's a random encounter. Yes, 1, of course there is. So yeah, so I'm entering the slums. I make my way through the alleyways, through the narrow alleyways. This is a really bad part of Fallcrest because, like I said, there's a spice den there. So there are drug addicts, there are homeless people, there are sick people, there are ruffians, thugs, robbers, gangs, all kinds of scum and villainy. And so indeed, as I totally didn't expect this, but it is what it is. So again, so ahead the alley narrows a little, and there's some small side alleys branching off here. So I'm making my way towards this spice den as there's suddenly a street thug coming out of this alley, and this is, it even says here, street corner punk on the pawn. So this is even the fitting pawn. There's a street corner punk blocking this way, and another, what, wait a minute, another yeah, a cult thug, but this is just not from the cult of owls, it's just a thug. So here we have a thug. All right, so, and this guy, and I'm trying it once again I'm trying it. I'm still always trying to find the perfect way to run combat all by myself with multiple enemies and talking and trying to improve my multitasking capabilities. So I'm once again trying to use, instead of this, my matrix that I use when I don't play with miniatures. I'm using this, like everybody that has acted will then, the slit will turn this way, and then I can just turn it around. Let's see how this goes. So yeah, this smells exactly like combat. So even though I'm not in my bat outfit, of course I'm still a capable combatant. So these are thugs. I give him 5 HP, 1 damage, and 1 combat skill. Just to soften and rough me up a little. So, yeah, so let's get this here so that I can better see it. So I immediately assess the situation and I think, this doesn't look good. And you go, I get to go first. So I immediately charge this guy and pummel him with my club. 2d6, it is melee combat 3 versus a difficulty of 8, because it is 7 plus their skill. Okay, so yeah, melee combat 3 versus 8. 3, 5 plus 3, 8 exactly, so on the spot. So this guy right there takes 1 point of damage. Because the club only deals 1 point of damage, didn't roll doubles, and I have acted. Alright, so now they get all to go. This guy immediately retaliates, and +1, they need a 10. And look at this. That is a 10. So he hits me for 1. My stamina is 10 because I'm not wearing my armor. So Brian is now at 9. So, and while I'm engaged with this guy moves up and also attacks. 8 plus 1 is 9. Lucky, because those are doubles if we would have hit. plus 1 damage, but he misses. So I sidestep and parry, and finally this guy comes and attacks. Oh no, look at this. 12, that's doubles, that's a hit. That is 2 damage, because doubles. So I'm at 7. I'm wrestling these guys, and while I sidestepped this guy got me in a chokehold from behind, but end of round, next round. But yeah, let's see what we can do about it. And I concentrate on the one that is already wounded, and again, yeah, that's definitely a hit, but no doubles. So 2 points of damage. So this is pretty slow actually, because yeah, but it is what it is, and I can't get out of there. They have basically, well, I could diagonally, let's say, with a, yeah, you know what, I don't want to, so that was my action. Now I get a move, and I want to move, shove myself past these guys into this alley. So that'll be a physical, so this is part of the movement, that'll be a physical roll. However, because there are 3 of them, it is pretty difficult. So the standard would be 8. All right, so it is 8 plus 3, because I got 3 guys, so 11. Difficulty 11. I got physical 2. So this is part of the move. I try to shove my way through them, and let's go. So 11. I need 11. 8 plus 3. Doesn't count, damn it. Alright, so I gotta re-roll this. So look at this. So no. So that was my move. It failed. So I didn't manage to get out. So now my turn is over. The guy I just punched punches me back. 5, 7, 8. That is not enough. He needs 10, luckily. All right, this guy punches. Oh, that is a hit, but luckily no doubles. I'm at 6 stamina. And now the brute, he punches. Oh, 10 again. All right, so I'm pummeled. So I block, and every once in a while, of course, I catch a hit. So I immediately realize this is not going to work. I need to get out of here. So once again, with my action, I punch this guy. Oh, okay, so 5, 6, that is enough. That is 9 for 1 point of damage, no doubles. So he's got 3 damage. And then again, physical 11, 8 plus 3. I try to get away. 5, 7, no. That is 9. I don't get away. And I have acted. Because I started the round, it's a new round. I switched this around. So now the guy attacks again. Ah, snake eyes. Good, he misses. This guy attacks. Ugh, he hits. I'm at 4 stamina. And the brute. 5, 6, and 8. No, they need 10. Lucky. Okay, so new round. My turn again. Try to smack this guy to create an opening to get out of there. 4, 5, 6. That is enough. But because that is 9, I need 8. 7 plus 1. But no doubles. So it is a slow process. He's almost down. He's bleeding. Now I try to get out again. DC 11 plus 2. Almost 6, 7, 9. Damn it. Couldn't that have been... So I still don't get out. This guy, before he goes down, tries to make it count. But 7, 8, no. Fails. This guy. No. 6, that is not enough. And finally the brute. So he's tough, even though they all got the same skill. No. Okay, next round. So I want to get this guy down, then it's easier to escape, because then there's one guy less to deal with. Yeah, that's enough. I rolled a 9, so I punch this guy, knock him out, which is an opening. So it is 8 plus 2, it's 10 now. And I got plus 2 again. I try to get away. They try to grab me. They wrestle with me. And physical 2, and I need 10. Plus 2, I need 10. Yes! 6 and 3 is 9. Plus 2 is 11. So I finally manage to escape their hold and make my way down this alleyway. And let's just say, all right, so I am making not a skill challenge. I'm making a physical roll to get away. I got physical 2. They got physical... I think they should also have physical 1, actually. But, nah, they got... I just say they don't have physical. Physical because they are physical, but they're not parkour people. I'm the bet. So 2d6 plus 2. Oh, look at this, 12. Ah, finally lucky. 14. So even if they get 2d6, they do get a 9. So it is close. They stay hot on my heels, but thanks to my endurance and training in a parkour-like manner, I managed to escape. But this little endeavor has shown me that maybe this is not such a good idea to do this by day without the protection of my armor and my combat gloves. So I take this as a warning and head back home and rest the rest of the day until early night, so that I can fully rested by night make my way to the bridge. And we're talking this bridge here in the hopes of finding Lady Diana there. Okay, so it is night. I got my bat outfit. And so I made this little pawn here. But actually what I also did, let me show you, but I don't know. I got my HeroClix figures out again. So that was the bat I used in the last series, the miniature. And I also have a Lady Diana of Princeton figurine. So, you know what? I'm going to use these, and you let me know in the comments what you think of them. Okay, so they got large bases. I didn't rebase them, but since it's not really tactical combat here with like counting every exact square, I think it's fine. So let's just say for story purposes that Diana got the message from the priestess. And indeed, so what did I say? I think 2200 or 23. So at the designated time, of course, I'm on the rooftops in the shadows watching this bridge. And indeed, Lady Diana, Paladin of Timaskira, she walks out of the shadows, or just walks to the bridge, looks around, and she looks a little annoyed maybe because of my obviously theatrical entrance that I'm about again to do. So she just looks around and goes, I know you're here. You can come out now. Leave the theatrics for the bad guys. And I jump down a rooftop in my bad outfit. I'm glad you made it. It is good to see you up and well. Yeah, you too. I got your message. So, who's this Robert guy? Someone I know. Someone you know, huh? So, does he know who you are? You don't need to know. This is irrelevant for our current endeavor. Yeah, all right. So anyhow, it is glad to see you up and about. That was quite a fight we had there and quite a setback, actually. So, what's the plan? What did you do? And what do you have in mind for tonight? I tried to find out something about the Book of Lies. Maybe a location or something. But without much luck. And Diana goes, yeah, I did the same during the entire day. Also, didn't have much success. But I figured maybe we still can find some clues in the hideout. Even though it is compromised, I think it is worth a try to see if they've abandoned it already. Because I think they might not have. Because it is their turf and they feel confident having dealt such a devastating blow to us. Maybe they're overconfident. So, I don't know what else we could do or where to start. Or where to go next. Well, there's one thing we could do. We could also keep an eye on the warehouse. I mean, I know that Lucian Fox has hired some adventurers as extra protection, but I mean, if the cult really needs this doppelganger blood, and maybe they need it soon because, I don't know, maybe they got some sort of schedule that they got to keep for this ritual. I'm not an expert. They might just come with greater force at the adventurers. So, if we are not successful tonight gathering any more information, that is another thing we could try, because we do know that they need still this doppelganger blood if they haven't obtained it elsewhere. That is a good idea, indeed. So let's see what this night brings, and then we will go from there. Okay, so we make our way. She makes her way through the streets, and this time, because she goes, and now please, I mean, I know you got a thing for theatrics, but could you please just walk with me now? And I look at her and go, because you said please. And then I walk with her. So we make our way towards the hideout. And let's just roll if it's abandoned. It is it? I think it is 50-50, because the reasoning that I said, it is still valid because it is their turf. They've dealt us a devastating blow. I think they feel overconfident, or not over, but confident, because as far as they're concerned, they're superior. But also, it is compromised. Maybe they figured we might come with 4 city guards. So it is 50-50. Is the hideout abandoned? 50% chance. Is the hideout abandoned? That was something, but 70. This is actually too slippery here. All right, so the question was, is the hideout abandoned? 50-50, and I got a no because I rolled over 50. So the hideout is not abandoned. I rolled 70 something. I didn't see the second die. So actually the hideout is not abandoned. So we approach the hideout and it all seems normal and reasonable as it did the last time. So we approach the door. And this is where I will end this episode, because I got a little timer here and I try to keep my episodes so at around 4. Usually I try to go for 45 minutes. So what I do have here, I got a little and short shout out here to the amazing Exor, because he uses a 1 hour timer hourglass. And so I figured, so here it says 45 minutes plus minus 10%. This is my timer so that I can look at it while I'm playing. I don't have to look at the clock all the time. And I usually try to aim for 45 minutes. Most of the time it's almost an hour, because the action happens and I'm in the middle of the action. But this is a good point now to end this episode at 45 minutes. So now you've seen my hourglass. So I'll thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this episode. And those of you still waiting for Defenders of the Shadowlands, I've decided that it is, or not a good thing, but I don't want to switch around all the time, because even though I got my naming, then it's still somewhat of a hassle to get the notes out for the other game, to set it up and get the character sheets and then put it all back away. And so I also in the future I try to stick to one series. Every once in a while I might make something else in between, but now I'm focusing on this, the Bat of Fallcrest, to finish this series before I do something else, just for convenience, because yeah, I always have to shovel things around, get notes out, get characters, maps and everything. So yeah, I'm just a lazy guy. So as always, thank you for watching, and as always, stay safe and stay healthy, and I will see you in the next video. Bye bye.